Afternoon, I'm Amy Johnson along with Juan Fernandez. We are bringing you special breaking news as the president has just landed here at LAX on Air Force One.
There you see on the right side of your screen there, Air Force One has just landed. The staircase is now in place. And that is some photographers there waiting to capture the moment. Right behind that photographer, that's Marine One. The helicopter will be taking him next to the Pacific Palisades, where we understand he will be taking a tour of the Pacific Palisades area. He will be there along with 3 homeowners affected by the fires, and then attend a roundtable discussion with city, state, and federal leaders.
Yeah, what he's going to do is get a nice aerial look on board Marine One first. He'll do that, and then he will actually take some time to walk around the devastation with those homeowners and really see on the ground what is happening. There is that Gavin Newsom. And we do know that he wasn't technically on the president's schedule, but he did say that he was going to be there when the president arrived, despite not being part of the agenda today.
Indeed, Newsom not on any official schedules or lists that the White House put out, but he did say he planned to meet the president there on the tarmac. You see him right there. And his hopes is that together they can work on getting the best help for Southern California. So we're going to see how this goes. You know, they've had a sometimes contentious relationship, at least in the press.
Yes.
President Trump criticizing him for the way he runs California. You know, he said he was going to be there. And yes, indeed, we don't see any other delegation. I know Karen Bass, our mayor, and Supervisor Barger and other officials, the chief of police, they're over at the firehouse right now, where Mr. Trump will then meet with them and discuss what he saw in his tour there of the affected areas. And when he's taking that tour, he's going to be joined by members of the LA Fire Department. And as I mentioned, 3 homeowners affected by the fire. And then, of course, taking part in that fire briefing that was scheduled to take place at 4:05. Maybe he's going to pick up some time here, Amy. That was scheduled for 4:05.
Yeah.
He's running a little bit late. He should have landed around 2:40 this afternoon. But as I mentioned, Mayor Bass and 8 members of the California congressional delegation, they're going to be meeting him. We already saw Supervisor Barger and also Ed Ring, the director of the Water and Energy Policy Center, because a lot of President Trump's criticism came regarding the way that California handles water, and that perhaps the Pacific Palisades and the Eaton areas didn't get the water they needed in this firefight.
Exactly. He has contended that the state is prioritizing endangered fish in the Delta over people and diverting the water that should be allowed to flow to Southern California. But there are many who say that that is not accurate. That they are getting the water that is needed and what is possible. You know, the president was also talking today. He did go to North Carolina earlier to tour the damage from Hurricane Helene. And he was talking about really kind of getting rid of FEMA and saying that he would like to see the states handle their own situations and not rely on FEMA. But we'll see what he's saying after he actually tours the devastation and what we are seeing in the Palisades and in Altadena. I mean, this is going to be a very, very expensive process to rebuild, and it would be a lot for the state to handle on their own.
Yeah, you know, on one side of things, Amy, President Trump said FEMA needs to be overhauled. He's saying that he would rather see the states take care of their own problems. Meantime, Mayor Bass is saying that she's very hopeful that President Trump will be supportive of the city's partnership with federal agencies. We've already seen this, in fact. FEMA has been on the ground from the get-go. We've also seen the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They've already been working with debris clearance and helping homeowners out there start the rebuilding process. We know how difficult that has been for the people out there getting rid of toxic materials and cars out of the area. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, they've been involved in all this, the debris clearance, the recovery efforts from the get-go. So on one side, we have the president saying that FEMA needs to be overhauled. On the other side, we have Mayor Bass hoping that he will see what they've done so far and that things will be looking better for everyone involved.
Yeah, and we do know that California Senator Adam Schiff did not join the president on this trip. The president said that he wished that he would have joined, but he was not able to join the president because of the confirmation hearings for the president's new cabinet. So he is not joining him, but we do know that the First Lady is with him. And we do know that the door here on Air Force One is open. We are awaiting the president's exit. And as you mentioned, Juan, they will leave Air Force One, headed to Marine One, the helicopter, where they will get a nice aerial view of Palisades and all of the damage from the Palisades fire, really seeing street after street after street that has been destroyed by the Palisades fire. And then they will land and then make their way to a fire station for that roundtable where we have seen a number of representatives. And as you mentioned, the mayor is there and Catherine Barger and a lot of firefighters. And it'll be interesting to hear what is said about the firefight, about the water, whether or not they did feel that they had what they needed, and how they feel about what the president is saying about the water.
I was reading some background on this, Amy, and officials here, the governor, as well as the mayor, they're hoping that perhaps the president is just uninformed about how the water works here in California, that there's not a spigot that you can just turn on and get extra water down here, because the criticism was, here we go, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump coming out of Air Force One. You can see them there with the baseball caps. They're going down that stairwell, and let's see how he was going to be receiving Governor Newsom, because as we've been mentioning, he wasn't planned to be there, but the governor is there. Let's see how that goes. Let's watch this. Very cordial, very nice.
It's unfortunate that we cannot hear what they are saying at this time, but we do know that the president did not have the governor on his schedule. This is certainly a brief exchange that they'll have before the president boards Marine One.
Yeah, and I was reading earlier that Gavin Newsom earlier in the day said, going into this, there he is, giving the First Lady a kiss on the cheek. The governor is saying that his mindset when it comes to emergencies and disasters, the governor is saying no politics, no finger pointing. He hopes that they know that the state and hopefully the federal government is going to have the backs of the people of this state. Let's listen in.
In very good shape. We have the congressman in charge and Michael Watley, and we're going to do a lot of work. We have the Army Corps of Engineers working as they are here. And I think you're going to see some very big progress. They left them high and dry. And now we're going to be taking a little tour with some of the people from the area. I appreciate the governor coming out and meeting me, Kevin, very much. And we'll be talking a little bit. We want to get it fixed. We want to get the problem fixed. And there'll be some ways, but it's like you got hit by a bomb, right? Yeah. Like you got hit by a bomb. Would you like to say something?
Most importantly, thank you for being here. It means a great deal to all of us, not just the folks in Palisades, the folks in Altadena that were devastated. We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help. You were there for us during COVID. I don't forget that. And I have all the expectations that we'll be able to work together to get this speedy recovery.
We will. We're going to get it done. Tremendous numbers of lives have been affected. A lot of real estate's been affected. Nobody's ever probably seen anything like this. You could almost say since the Second World War, when you think of it. I mean, nothing like this has happened. And we're going to get it fixed, so we'll get it permanently fixed so it can't happen again. And again, we'll be talking a little bit later, and we'll get it worked out, okay?
I appreciate it, Mr. President.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Both of you have disagreed a lot over the past week over what has happened in this state. How do you plan to
we got to
put your
get it
differences
finished.
aside?
We're looking to get something completed. And the way you get it completed is to work together. He's the governor of the state. And we're going to get it completed. They're going to need a lot of federal help. Unless you don't need any, which should be okay.
We're going to need a lot of federal help.
So we're going to take care of things, okay?
I have all the confidence in the world we'll work that out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I guess some of you are coming with us and some of you not. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll see you.
Well, I have to say, how nice was that, Amy?
Yes.
Very cordial. Not too long ago, the president was saying that he was going to withhold federal help from California unless the state met certain criteria. Also, in this case, we knew the governor was not on the plan on being there. It looks like the governor is now going to be joining President Trump and the First Lady on Marine One.